after the halt, get ready for the hit, because damage to market confidence takes an even longer time to come back. To NYSE EuroNext Managing Director Todd Wilemon on what all exchanges must do now. Former NSA official Colonel Cedric Leighton on cyber worries that are growing rampant now. And psychologist Cheryl Arutt on the need to calm investors now. Cheryl, I want to begin with you because that's the first thing that must be addressed, because a lot of folks even now don't know if their trades got through or if they should get back in, and they will be addressed. I think this is one of the things that people fear most, whether the technology is up to speed and whether they're going to get zoomed when it isn't. What do you say?
Well, Neil, I think you make a really good point that this has really frightened a lot of people. This NASDAQ shutdown has really had people scared. And for investors and traders, stock puts are really like crack. They have to keep checking. You know, they have to keep reassuring themselves. And when people can't check, that really can make things get ugly. I think people need to take a deep breath. They need to remember not to panic, you know, but there are a lot of people who are being really cautious. I think, like, even regular people, if a woman, let's say her career is going great, she may think twice about putting money in the market, because if nameless, faceless saboteurs can come in and hack in to companies that even seem rock solid, you know, she may even think, people may think their money is safer in their mattress than in the market, and the market cannot have that. We need to have people calm down.
You know, Todd, whether it gets to that extreme, whether it's safe or not, I mean, it has, and I'm sure, given some folks pause about, because I've talked to a lot of friends of mine just say, Neil, the market was shut down for 3 hours? What the heck? How do you counter that? What do you say?
Neil, you know, we're in the real world. I remember back in '87, December, a squirrel committed suicide, and NASDAQ was down for 80 minutes because they lost power. You know, you had Superstorm Sandy that shut down trading for 2 days. You know, this was a glitch on NASDAQ. Listen, if you take humans out of the equation, you won't have any more glitches. But then you won't have any more trading
Yeah, but
either.
isn't that part of the issue? And Cedric, I'll raise this with you, that humans have been taken out of at least the trading equation. There's more electronic trading, computerized trading, and many will argue that's faster, more efficient. But it does provide a breeding ground for this sort of stuff, does it not?
Absolutely, Neil. It's one of the most important aspects of this is the fact that it is not a completely human endeavor, and it's also not completely a machine endeavor. And every time you work with any of these systems, there are going to be situations where the humans will impact the machines and the machines will impact the humans. In this particular case, what you have is the possibility, at least, that some kind of a malicious attack was tried on the the NASDAQ, or that somehow an insider got in and wreaked havoc on the machine, in this case the SIP, and that caused some real problems for the market, obviously.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know. But, Cheryl, I want to raise a point that Todd raised. I mean, that these things, and to his credit, that they have happened. I do remember the squirrel incident. I do remember some that went way out of control, program trading that went amok and did an even bigger doozy later on in 1987. But I do think still they're the exception rather than the norm. Of course, when they do happen, they're a big deal. Here's what I worry about, though, that if it's none of the stuff that Todd alluded to, that if it is a hacking incident or it, like some of these others we've seen of late, it calls into question the security of almost every site out there, and that we're target practice. What then?
What then is right. I think that you're making a really good point about the information that's out there. You know, we keep telling our kids, be careful what you put out there on the internet, because once it's out there, it's out forever. And so when we think about our personal information going out and being leaked or being hacked or having this be of human design, when somebody actually meant to mess things up instead of just a glitch or a mistake, that's a lot more sinister, and that makes people much more frightened, and that makes it much more destabilizing.
You know, Todd, and you know this stuff in and out. You know all the acronyms by heart and all this. You're the kind I sat behind to copy the tests, you know, answers. So you're a genius. But when I see NASDAQ come out with a statement like that, and it makes absolutely no sense. It reads like, you know, a report you get back from your radiologist after an MRI. Only he or she can understand it. So I'm wondering, I don't think they really know. And that's the cynic in me. I don't think they really know. And furthermore, I think they're afraid to tell us how much they don't really know.
Well, Neil, NASDAQ does not want to put out any erroneous information. Because if they put out anything erroneous,
well, this one just confuses the hell out of everybody, so they needn't worry.
No, but what they put it out to market participants, not you or I, but market participants,
right.
Whether they be the information system people, they understand what they're talking about. They haven't put out the real reason. No, and I can tell you what happened on Facebook but if you want sometime in the future.
I'm not interested now, but Cedric, I do want to ask you. That's what I suspect, and maybe in this age of surveillance abuses and the like, that's maybe why I'm partly more cynical than I normally would be. Should I be?
Well, I think we have to be very cynical in this particular case because, just like with you, Neil, the statement that the NASDAQ released did not make any sense to me.
Well, then I feel better now. If it confused you, then I'm fine with that.
And the basic thing is that we really have to get our arms around this cybersecurity issue. Even if this was not a cybersecurity incident, or it's not proven that it is one, we really have to think about how, as a nation, we deal with this issue because it can happen tomorrow, again, just like it did today with the NASDAQ.
Guys, thank you all very, very much. At a pressing news night here. Well,